Hello everyone and welcome back to HTML and CSS on Codecademy. So last time we learned some of the basics about HTML. We didn't touch on CSS because that comes later on. Today we're just going to be continuing with a bit more. So let's get straight into it. Paragraphs and headings. We're definitely making good progress. We've learned when and why we use HTML. We've also learned how to set up an HTML file with tags. Title the web page in the head so that people using tabs can easily notice your tab. Create paragraphs in the body with p tags. So the next step is to give our paragraphs headings using heading tags. Let's start with the h1 tag. The content between this tag will be the biggest. So in the body section, create a heading. To do this, create an h1 tag. Okay? Let's do that then, h1, and I'm guessing it needs a closing h1. Add content, so this is my title. Close the element with a closing tag. Okay, I already did that. Your content should now be between those two tags. And underneath the headings tags, create two paragraphs using p tags with whatever content you like. I guess that's just to remind us how to use p tags. And okay, so I didn't close it, that's why. There we go. Don't forget the slash in the closing bracket. So as we can see, that's what our web page would look like. Okay, we actually have something wrong with our program. It looks like you only have one set of p tags. Oh, so we need to make this a paragraph as well, I'm guessing. And /p, there we go. 7 submit. You write something between each set of p tags. I have. In the body section, create a heading. And add content. Create. Right. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're meant to do two paragraphs after the heading. Like that. There we go. So this is what your web page would look like if you did this properly the first time around. Which I didn't. But oh well, let's move on. More about headings. So HTML actually lets us have more than one heading size. There are 6 heading sizes where h1 is the boss and h6 is puny. That's nice to know, so you can have variation along your web page so that it looks better. H1 is the CEO, H2 is the VP, H3 director, blah blah blah. Below we'll ask you to add headings of various sizes. Feel free to write whatever you like for the headings. Your code currently has one H1 heading and 2 paragraphs. Add an H3 heading before the second paragraph. Okay. Add an h5 heading after the second paragraph and then a third paragraph after this heading. What? Add an h5, so add an h3 heading before the second paragraph. Before the second paragraph. Here. It doesn't want us to close it, I guess. Add an h5 heading after the second paragraph. Oh, it's gonna want us to nest it. And then add a third paragraph after this heading. I'll want to do this actually. Paragraph, closing paragraph, third paragraph. I'll just put that there. 2 and 1 just to be labeled, and let's see, there we go. So this is just to compare some sizes. So if for your first heading you would have that kind of a size, then if you had normal text you would have something like that. Then I would have to look at this. If you had heading 3 you would have something of the size like that, and if you had a heading 5 you would have even smaller than normal text. So I'm guessing that heading 6 is even smaller than that. So that's just some practice and seeing what different headings look like. Let's move on. using every heading. Nice work. Given that there are 6 heading sizes altogether, we should make use of all 6. Okay, sure, why not, I guess. Add 3 more headings to the code, making use of H2, H4, and H6. Make sure to close all your tags. Sure, I will do it like this. H5, close H5, close H5. No, I meant that should be H2. Then H2 again. And you have, I will just copy and paste those and just edit the number in each. Then you have H4 and H6. I will actually just label these as numbers. This is normal size, no heading. This is heading 3. Then this is heading 5. I don't know why I actually never had the chance to close these. I mean, it never told us to close them, but that's weird. I will close them here, just in case they cause problems. There we go. And I don't know if I should put the paragraph inside or outside. I think that I will put it inside because that's what it did before and what it told us to do before. So let's do it that. Control C, Control V there, and then we can put some text. This is heading 2. This is heading 4. And this is heading 6. Let's do full screen and see. So no heading, I don't know what that is. This is my title, heading 1. So you would normally put your title as heading 1. So you have heading 1 is that size. Then we don't put anything for that, so that's normal heading. So we have all of the sizes. So let's compare them. So that 1 is the biggest, 2 is quite smaller than 1 actually. I didn't expect it to be that much smaller. Then you have 3, and 3 is just a bit bigger than normal. Then you have 4, which is, I would say, just normal but a bit bold. Then you have 5 and 6, which are even smaller than normal size text. So let's see if it counts that as correct. Yes, it does. So let's move on. Mid-lesson breather. So let's quickly summarize what we have learned. You've done an awesome job. Here's a quick summary of things we have learned. HTML is used to give websites structure. We open HTML files using a browser, such as Firefox or Google Chrome or Explorer. And the browser renders or shows us the file, the HTML file. HTML files have a head and a body, just like you. Okay, that's actually a good way of remembering it, I guess. In the head, we have the title tags, and we use those to specify the web page's name, so that you can easily find the tab, or the user can more easily find the tab. How to make headings and paragraphs is also another thing we have learned. Add a title between the title tags. Okay, here, should we remove that? I have no idea. This is my title. Create a H3 tag, an H3 tag is what I'm gonna call it. H3, close H3. In the body, I'm guessing, size heading in the body. Make your heading say anything you want. Anything I want in heading 3. Just don't forget to close it, which I haven't. Create 3 paragraphs using p tags and fill them with content, e.g. about cars, pet, favorite city to travel, whatever you like. Sure, why not? And closing p tag. I will just copy those. Oops, there we go. And I didn't mean to press enter there and run it. So let's do my favorite. I'm not even spelling that correctly. My favorite. I think that's how you spell it. Oh, whatever. Pet is a dog. I have no car. And what was the last thing? My favorite city to go to is Vélez. And don't question it. There we go. So let's see. I don't know why there is a variation in sizes between that and that. I don't think that that should be a thing, but it is. I don't understand why. So this is our heading 3, and then we have 3 paragraphs. As you can see, between the paragraphs, there actually isn't any text, although there is space left. So I can't select anything, but that's because we're using paragraphs, and that's different. So that might be confusing at first, but I did feel like mentioning it. And we haven't left any space after the heading 3, but because we have an opening tag for a paragraph here is why we have the space between those as well. So if we removed that tag, those will just should stick together, but they don't. I do not know why. Let's see what happens if we do this. Yeah, they just do that. Okay. I guess heading 3 makes its own paragraphs. Yeah, that would make sense. So that's a new thing I learned, and you guys also learned. So if you have headings, that also does the same thing as paragraphs, as well as the heading itself. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask in the comments down below. I will make sure to look at your comments and answer as soon as I can if you have the answer to it. If I don't, I will tell you and then research it. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.